your American dream?
My American dream is to grow up and for everyone to be equal.
My American dream is for the world to be at peace.
Our American dream is to be able to raise our family and to be able to give them the best, that we can give them in this great country.
My American dream is to live in the world no matter what race or nationality you are. Everybody is smiling at you, loving, and supporting you no matter what. And that's the way the whole world should be. Amen.
My American dream is to see, a country where we don't have these issues that we're seeing a lot of now, divide in this country. And I just want to see a better tomorrow. So let's hope that we all work together and get there.
My American dream is for everyone to be happy and healthy.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam. Groundhog Sam. Hey, Brad Squad! I hope you had a great weekend. I'm on another mission. Brad thought it would be a good idea for me to go out and hand out some Brad Show Live flyers, and of course I was happy to oblige. So I decided to take the subway. I've never been on the subway. There were so many lines I couldn't figure out which one to go with. But then I saw the one that I knew was meant for me. The F and the G line for furry groundhog. Ha 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 ha. So that's the train I'm taking. Let's go. Here I am, waiting for the train. Who knew people travel underground, just like groundhogs do? Hey, it's a train, it's a train, it's a train. We're getting on the train. We're not on the train yet. We're gonna get on the train. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm on the subway. Holding on for dear life. It's quite bumpy. Hold on, we're at a stop.
Close the doors, please.
Hello, miss. Would you please take a flyer for Brad Show Live? Facebook and YouTube. Thank you, and nice to meet you. Thank you. Check us out. Oh, someone wants to take my picture. What is this? It's Brad Bernstein. Hey, sir, that's my boss right there. Yeah, I know. What a coincidence. Ha ha ha. Well, that was quite an incredible experience. Groundhog Sam underground on the subway. I enjoyed myself immensely, and I got the word out more about Brad Show Live. Amazing. You know what's also amazing? How Brad and he was already in there advertising the services of the law offices of Spar and Bernstein for immigration and personal injury claims. And now it's that time that you've all been waiting for. It's time for Brad Show Live, starring Brad Bernstein. I better get back to the studio now. Okay, see you guys soon.
Welcome, everybody. It is Brad Show Live, Monday, March 20th, 2023. I'm laughing because I didn't see that thing from Groundhog Sam before. Jill, that was so funny. Somebody's literally taking a picture of Groundhog Sam in the subway. That was pretty funny. It made me laugh. And today's Monday, March 20th, as I said, but it was St. Patrick's Day on Friday. So I hope everyone who celebrated enjoyed the day. And today is the first day of spring. And also the Persian New Year, Nowruz, which is beginning. So there's a lot of good stuff to celebrate, and that makes sense because it's also the International Day of Happiness. And in more good news, as Groundhog Sam discovered, Spar and Bernstein now has advertisements on the New York City subway for immigration and personal injury. So if you see one, please feel free to give us a shout out, tag us on social media, or even if you know how to contact me, send me a picture of you in the ad on the subway. Let's say hello to the squad. Earth Angel Pert squad up. Shan Smith saying, hey. Jessica Kalimi Joel saying, squad up my loves. I'm broadcasting from home. That's my puppy Teddy, barking and screaming away. Mika Hewitt, squad. We live. Squad up loves. Ramuski St. Morant saying hello. How are you? Hamida Amura, squad up. It's with a question, a pre-schmooze question of the day. Is it better to file an I-130 with the lockbox or online at USCIS website? They both work equally, just as good. Romeo Sawyer saying, hi, Brad. Continue doing the great job you're doing. God bless you and staff. Thank you. Denver South, squad up. Jewel Delph, squad up. And Orlando with another pre-schmooze question of the day saying, hi, Brad. Is it mandatory to do a change of address after separation? Will it affect my citizenship? The law says it's mandatory. That is for sure. The law definitely says it's mandatory. That is for sure. If you don't do it, it's not going to be the end of the world, but you should do it. Josephine Latham, squad up. Dawn Hewitt, squad up. And Terry, I'll take out. You know what? I got this. Terry saying, how can an employer help me with a green card if I overstayed on my visa? Well, an employer can only help you with your green card if you overstayed on your visa, if you are either eligible to adjust your status because you're 245I, or you overstayed less than 180 days, you can adjust under 245K, or you're eligible for a provisional waiver, either through having a mother, a father, or a spouse that you can do a waiver, go home and come back. So there's a limited amount of people, not everybody, who can now do a job sponsorship if you did overstay. Jessica Leamy saying, squad up. How are you? Squad up, Jessica Leamy. And squad up Dawn as well. She's saying squad up to everybody. Dawn Harriet, squad up to Willie. And Sammy Adventure with a question. If I receive my work permit through TPS, that means my TPS is approved? It absolutely means it's approved. Congratulations, Sammy Adventure. You got your work permit. You know it's approved. The Faulkner twins saying squad up. And La Chica, squad up. How are you? Ronald Joint, squad up. How are you? Abatayo, squad up. Maria Dixon, squad up. How are you? Babita Dearine saying hello to everybody. Let's see. There she is saying hello to everybody. And Chantel, if you need a waiver for fraud, you file an adjustment of status and waiver at once. You can file the adjustment of status and the waiver simultaneously. You can wait for the denial, and then they'll give you an opportunity to file the waiver later on as well. We're going to answer some more immigration questions in the social media check-in. Let me just finish saying hello to everybody else. I promise you we'll get all of your immigration questions in. Maureen McFarling, squad up. Carissa Chiasa saying hello. Rog J. Roberts with the cool shades. And Angelique saying squad up. 29 Super Say. Good afternoon to everybody. And we ready to start schmoozing, Joe? Let's do it. Oh, before we schmooze, I got to remind everybody. I have to remind everybody that this is a call-in show. And you can call in right now. We have open lines. You can call in to speak to me, to get on our show. We tested our lines beforehand, so they definitely work this time. 1-800-529-5465. That is also the number to call to speak to my office. 1-800-529-5465. It's also the number to call to have a consultation with me. 1-800-529-5465. It is also, where is our telephone number? We don't have that telephone number there? Okay, no worries. It's also the telephone number to call to, as I said, to set up a consultation. It's also the telephone number to call to deal with anything, immigration, personal injury, whatever you need. One number, 1-800-529-5465. International, it's 212-227. Oh, there it is. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen, 212-227-8933. And as I said, coming up, I will be answering viewer calls. But let's first schmooze on some immigration news. So a lot of clients have been asking me, saying, Brad, are the USCIS filing fees going up? So here's what I know about filing fees going up. On January 4th, 2023, USCIS published a proposal in the Federal Register seeking to amend the USCIS fee schedule, meaning they're going to raise the filing fees and make certain other changes to immigration benefits requirements. Now, the public comment period, if you watch Bradshaw Live, you know there's always a comment period. You have to follow the rules to change any rules with the government. And that's why all those lawsuits happen, because they don't follow the rules. So now they have to have a public comment period for USCIS proposed fee increase. And that ended on March 13th. And during that public comment period, the agency amassed more than 6,000 public comments, mostly with criticism of proposed cost increases and the impact that they could have on U.S. businesses, workforce, families. And the fee increases will not go into effect until the final rule is published. And they cannot publish a final rule for a minimum of 30 days. So it will not go into effect at least until April 13th. But under the rules and laws, they have to take into account everybody's comment and write a response or consider a response for all of the public comments. And that may take some time as well, because there were 6,000 public comments. So we're not exactly sure the day that the fee rule will be modified, but it will be modified at some point in the future. It can't happen before April 13th. It could happen anytime after April 13th of this year. And we will see what happens. Now, the USCIS proposal would raise application fees for every immigrant category in the United States. Besides significant price increases for employment-based visas like the H-1B, family-based immigrant applications, everybody is facing dramatic fee increases. This includes, get a hold of this one. This includes a doubling of the adjustment fee for a marriage case. Right now, you get married to a U.S. citizen, you're paying the government $1,760 for the I-130, your biometrics, and your I-45. That fee is now going to be increased to $3,640 for one marriage adjustment fee. That's the filing fee for the government. It's going up to $3,640 if this rule goes into effect. In addition, fees for accompanying children will no longer be reduced, and their costs are going to mirror exactly what the adult applications are. So for an example, if you're an immigrant family of 4, you get married to a U.S. citizen, and you want to file for your spouse, or you're a U.S. citizen, you want to file for your spouse, and you want to file for your spouse's 2 children who are with your spouse in the United States, the filing fees for that family of 3 could exceed $10,000. That is just the filing fee for the 3 adjustment applications. Other immigration applications are also set to increase in price. The fiancé visa petition will increase by 35%. So that fee is going up from $535 to $720. The petition for a relative will increase by 53%, from $535 to $820. And the removal of conditions application will increase by 76%, from $680 to $1,195. The proposed fee hikes are expected since the agency is required to review its immigration fee structure every 2 years. USCIS receives roughly 96% of its funding from filing fees. They have not increased filing fees since 2016. However, doubling the adjustment fee is obscene. Now, what USCIS says is as fewer people applied for immigration benefits, their revenue has plummeted, leading to widespread furloughs and a backlog in immigration cases. We know about the backlog for sure. Now, to fully recover, the federal agency, USCIS, said it needs to raise application fees, adding that the proposed prices are expected to generate $1.9 billion per year more than what they are getting right now. USCIS Director M. Jadoo stated that the new fee structure would allow the agency to improve customer service operations and manage the incoming workload. Now, as I said, no one is sure when the new fees are going to go into effect. The minimum date is April 13th of this year, but it could be any time after April 13th. And we don't know what changes, if any, will happen between their proposed rule change and the 6,000 comments that came in about the proposed rule changes, and what, if anything, they will do to fix it. Now, as I said, USCIS, they're required to follow a specific process mandated by the Administrative Procedures Act to make changes in rules, and that includes fees. So once the comment period ends, the agency can take a variety of actions, including modifying or withdrawing the proposal. And after any modifications occur based on feedback, the final rule will ultimately be published. And as I said, this can take place as quickly as 30 days after the end of the public comment period, which was March 13th, which means April 13th. Now, the final published rule will state the date that the new rule will be implemented, and they have to give you at least 30 days from April 13th or some day after that for the final rule and filing fees to be implemented. So let's assume immigration comes out, the final regulation comes out on May 1st. That means May 30th, the filing fees would be going up. Don't quite count me as May 1st. I gave it as a example. So today is March 20th. We said April 13th is the bare minimum days, and then it's another 30 days after that. So you have minimally between now and approximately May 12th to file an application and be certain that your application will have the lower filing fee. If you wait to file someday after May 12th of this year, we don't know what day that will be. It could be May 12th, it could be June 12th, it could be September 12th, it could be never. But there is a possibility, a strong possibility, that at some date after May 12th, filing fees will go up. Now, based on this timeline, if the final rule mirrors the recommended fee increases included in the proposal, they can take effect in May. So the probability seems to be that USCIS proposed fee hikes will go into effect in May. It'll be after May 13th. We don't know when. It could be June 13th, it could be July. But most people guesses are the end of May. So if you plan on getting married, you plan on filing that adjustment application, now's the time to do it. Meanwhile, immigration advocates are mobilizing supporters to stop a proposed Biden administration rule disqualifying asylum seekers who cross the border without appointments or fail to apply for protection in countries they travel through on the way to the United States. The advocates say between 12,000 and 14,000 people so far have submitted written comments to the Department of Homeland Security in opposition to the proposed circumvention of lawful pathways. That's what the rule is called. Public comment on what advocacy groups call an asylum travel ban ends on March 27th. The Department of Homeland Security plans to implement the rule in anticipation of a migrant surge once the Title 42 public health rule that has allowed border agents to promptly expel people crossing the border illegally expires on May 11th. In justifying the rule, the Department of Homeland Security said the proposed rule is designed to address the current and anticipated surge in migration and further discourage illegal migration by encouraging lawful, safe, and orderly processes for entering the United States and partner nations. Advocates say the new rule relies heavily on technology and Custom and Border Patrol's One App, which many people in need throughout the world lack access to or are proficient. El Paso Bishop Mark Seitz said the new rule places additional burdens in neighboring countries, primarily Mexico, which are dealing with violence and regional instability that forces their own citizens to migrate. And Seitz wrote last week in America Jesuit Review, we can expect an increase in both the exploitation of migrants by traffickers and migrant deaths, now at record levels, which occur whenever legal pathways at the border are restricted. And on March 11th, this past Saturday, dozens of immigrants and advocates from the Colorado Immigrant Rights Coalition rallied at the state capitol. The group wants Colorado's congressional delegation to support a bill to update the U.S. registry law that allows undocumented immigrants to receive amnesty after being in the United States. Now, the registry law right now is January 1st, 1972, which means that anybody who was in the United States on or before January 1st, 1972, it's an old form of amnesty, can get a green card. It's still on the books. But how many people are living in the United States since January 1st, 1972 who aren't legal or still alive? Because they're either dead or they already got their green cards. January 1st, 1972, that was 50 years ago. More than that, 51 years. We're in 2023. So they want to update the law. And any date they pick that is after January 1st, 1972 is beneficial. The date they want to pick is January 1st, 2015. Move the registry date up to January 1st, 2015. That means if you were here before January 1st, 2015, you would be able to get a green card. Now, nobody is saying this rule is going to go into effect because even though Biden would sign it, the problem is go find 4 Republicans in the House of Representatives who will vote for it. That's basically what you need, 4 Republicans in the House of Representatives to vote for it. Because most Democrats, you would assume, would vote for it. And Republicans outnumber the Democrats in the House of Representatives by 4. And then you would need 8 senators, 8 Republican senators to pass it in the U.S. Senate. This is only 52 Democrats. So I don't think it's going to pass. But people are still anxious and want it to. Now, known as H.R. 8433, the bill would update the registry law to allow anyone who entered the country prior to January 2015 to apply for their green card. It's their amnesty. It was introduced in the House of Representatives on March 9th by Democratic Representative Zoe Lofgren of California, Jesus Garcia of Illinois, Grace Meng of New York, and Norma Torres, and Lou Correa of California, and Representative Diana DeJette, who represents Denver, has signed onto the bill as an original sponsor. The group rallied to call on Senators Michael Bennet and John Hickenlooper to support a corresponding bill in the Senate. At the rally, Carlos Rojas, a labor and immigration organizer, said, "This bill is a common sense approach for people to receive permanent residency status year after year, and for the United States to actually be a nation that supports immigrants." Data from U.S. Customs and Border Patrol show that encounters with migrants along the border with Mexico decreased by 37% between December 22, January 2023. It's the lowest recorded on record. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is also considering implementing laws that would deter future immigration. The New York Times reported that Biden is mulling a reinstatement of the migrant family detention policy that he shut down 2 years ago. The president has also empowered the Department of Homeland Security and Department of Justice to draft a new rule that could prohibit someone who is deported for illegally crossing the border from re-entering the United States for 5 years. So it's all bad news, basically, for immigrants. They're raising fees, can't pass any sort of amnesty to help people who are here. I doubt this bill would pass, but you never know. I'm always hopeful. Biden's changing the rules to make it harder to apply for amnesty. And we have the same broken system year after year after year. Meanwhile, on March 13th, some decent news. The Biden administration said that thousands of Ukrainians who fled to the United States in the first month after Russia invaded their country would be eligible to extend their stay as the war in Ukraine continues into a second year. About 25,000 Ukrainians and their family members who came into the country through Mexico at a U.S. port of entry between February 24th and April 25th last year were allowed to stay for a year. Department of Homeland Security said it would consider 1-year extensions for that group. The total 2-year period aligns with the length of time Ukrainians fleeing the war were later permitted to stay in the United States under a program in a system known as humanitarian parole. Nearly 300,000 Ukrainians and their families have entered the country since the start of the war under humanitarian parole, either with a visa or as a refugee. More than 8 million have fled to European countries in the past year. Human rights advocates said people from other countries or in the United States under temporary humanitarian parole should be given similar assurances. Chris O'Mara, president of Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service, said the protections would expire this summer for thousands of Afghans also, who were among the first to arrive in the United States after the rushed evacuation of Afghanistan. And they too should get further protections. So a legislative proposal to give Afghan parolees an opportunity to apply for permanent residence in the United States so far has failed to get enough Republican support. So not going to give Afghans who fled the war green cards. They're certainly not going to raise the amnesty date from 1972 to 2015. And on Friday, March 10th, Queens elected officials, community leaders, and residents in Ozone Park gathered for a street co-naming ceremony recognizing the corner of Drew Street and 101st Street as Little Bangladesh Way in honor of the vibrant Bangladeshi community in the borough. The unveiling is a dream come true for the community as they prepare to observe the holy month of Ramadan, which begins on March 23rd, and Bangladesh's Independence Day anniversary on March 26th. Councilwoman Joanne Ariola authored the city council bill to co-name the street, and the bill was passed in February. And upon her election to office to represent Council District 32, Ariola said that one of her promises was to make sure that the Bangladeshi community knew how much they were appreciated and valued by her as their representative. She said the street naming really comes on the backs of the hardworking people of the community. It's their hard work and dedication and sense of becoming part of America that made it possible. Community activist Japneet Singh said in a Facebook post, for some, it may just be a street sign, but for sons, daughters, and descendants of immigrants, this is so much more than that. This is about finally being seen. This is about finally being heard. This is about finally being recognized. Little Bangladesh Way will forever be cemented into the history books. And according to the Pew Research Center, as of 2019, there were 208,000 Bangladeshi immigrants living in the United States, 51% of which have resided in the U.S. for 10 plus years. And New York is the U.S. metropolitan area with the highest Bangladeshi population at 93,000 people. All right, and that was our schmooze of the day. I do want to remind everybody that Spar and Bernstein does handle United States immigration cases and New York area personal injury claims. And we're going to show a short video where we meet Denzel, who obtained his green card after hiring Spar and Bernstein to work on his case. And after we meet Denzel, we're going to meet Vanessa, who Spar and Bernstein insured received the highest insurance settlement possible after she sustained serious neck injuries in a motor vehicle accident. Both tell us about their experiences working with Spar and Bernstein. Let's watch.
Thank you, Spar and Bernstein, for all the years being with me, following through, steadfast, helping to overcome all of this negativity and bring it to positivity. One love. I appreciate the service. The best.
I would totally recommend Spar Bernstein. They're great. They helped to make a really difficult time a lot more smooth and comfortable and kept me informed of what was going on. I'm so very appreciative that they took care of my situation the way they did. It was cool.
All right, so we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of the show. It's when I answer your immigration questions. Call us right now, 1-800-529-5465. Let's do it. All right, Angela, you're on. Angela from Long Island.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Angela. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. What can I do to help you?
I'm here 19 years now, Brad.
Yes.
I came on my visa. It's expired. Is there anything there for me?
You're asking, basically, you're saying I'm undocumented for 19 years. What can you do to help me?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And, yes.
All right. Where are you from? Where are you from?
Jamaica.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 62 this year.
All right. What family do you have in the United States?
I have a sister.
Mm-hmm.
She's in Florida.
What's her status?
She's a citizen.
Okay. Where's your mom and dad?
They passed away.
Did they ever try to get green cards to come to the United States?
No.
Did nobody ever filed for them any time back in the day?
No.
Have you ever filed to get anything to get your green card?
No.
Have you just came here on a visitor's visa and just stayed here 19 years?
Working visa.
In H-2B?
Yes.
Okay, so you got, what, 6 months, 9 months on the H-2B and then overstayed?
9 months, yes.
9 months, okay. And you have children?
Yeah, they're in Jamaica.
Okay. And do you have a husband, former husband, boyfriend?
In Jamaica.
All in Jamaica? You have a husband in
Yes.
Jamaica. How do you
Yes.
stay in a relationship with him for the 19 years that you've been separated?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Does he come
We're not
visit?
separated.
You're not separated?
No, he went to. He always about it. I think he went 2 times to get a visa. They turned him down, and he went to Canada, where his brother was, and spent some time and go back.
Okay. All right. And are you working? What do you do?
Yes, I'm a home health aide.
Home health aide. All right. Well, I'll be honest with you. Okay. Have you ever been the victim of a crime?
No.
No. I'll be honest with you. At the moment, there's nothing for you. You get sponsored.
Cannot sponsor you.
No, if you get sponsored in a job, based on what you told me, you have to go back to Jamaica and then you get stuck for 10 years.
Okay.
If the only way around that is to have family in the U.S., which you don't have, just a sister that's too far removed. Your sister could file for you, but it's going to be 15-year wait. You'll be well retired by then. And who knows in 15 years whether you'll be eligible for a green card or not through that petition. You have no family here. If you wanted to file for asylum, it's too late. You have to do it within the first year. I assume you don't have $1 million to invest in a business. Jamaica is not part of the visa lottery. You have not been the victim of a crime. I've just gone through every possibility for you, unfortunately.
Okay.
So it's either divorce your husband and marry in a bona fide marriage or just wait it out. But there's no other options, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I'm sorry.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's go to, let's see what happened here. Can't get you off the show. All right. Angela, hang the phone up, please. There we go. There we go. Stacy in Philadelphia.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. I have a little backstory.
What's the backstory?
So, I got married to. He was a green card holder at first, and after I got married to him, I submitted my I-130 because I know he wasn't a citizen. He became a citizen like 2 months later, and then I submitted my 485, all the other documents.
Okay, sounds good so far.
This was in November, and then I did my fingerprint in January. How much longer do I have to wait? Do you know?
When did you get filed?
So I submitted the I-130 in June, and then I submitted the rest of the documents in November.
Okay. So you filed an adjustment in November?
Yes.
Of 20, and you got fingerprinted. You're asking how long to wait for your work permit or how long to wait for your green card or both?
For the work permit, because I did my fingerprint in January.
So the work permit, generally, assuming you did everything right, the work permit should come about 6 to 7 months after you filed your adjustment, assuming you fingerprinted, in about 2 months after you filed, which it sounds like what you did. So if you filed in November, that's December, January, February, March, April, May or June. And then towards the end of 2023, your green card interview.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
All right, let's go to Star in Fort Lauderdale. Star.
Hi, Brad. It's Star Girl.
Oh, Stargirl, how are you? Stargirl Mika. You just said Star. I'm like, all right, Star. What you don't need any help, Stargirl. You're done.
Brad, I need no help. I'm
you don't
straight.
need any help. You're straight. What are you calling for?
I just like to show off.
Have you been home yet? Have you gone back?
No, not yet. In June, hopefully.
Oh, okay. Are you plane tickets?
Yeah.
You didn't do that yet?
Huh?
You get your plane tickets, or you didn't do that yet? You're just thinking June.
No, I didn't do that yet. My daughter works for JetBlue, so I'm good.
Okay, you're fine. I thought you would have been home and back 10 times already.
No, not yet.
And by the way,
My
for
mom
everybody who doesn't know,
mom is here. My mom is here, Brad. That's why I didn't reach down it, because she came right about the same time. So
I see. And for those who don't know, Stargirl is a regular Brad member of the Brad Squad, and also was a client of Spar Bernstein. And after a long, arduous struggle, she finally got her green card this year. So congratulations.
Thank you, Brad. I want to ask a question for our friend. Okay, it's probably going to be, because I don't have the full information, but I'm going to give you what I got. And based on your response, then, if anything, I will DM you more info. Okay, so she was married. She got married to a U.S. citizen. They went to an interview, and they denied her, saying that, they just said to them, why don't you just admit it that the marriage is fraud? So they believed the marriage was not real. They denied her. So after a few years, they filed an appeal. The appeal was approved, but then something happened.
So if they charged her with fraud, with marriage fraud, she can never get her green card ever for life. So she has to overcome the burden. If she ever tries to go get a green card in the future, she has to overcome the burden of proving that first marriage was real, which is very difficult. Appeals for these I-130 denials take 5-6 years. I would have refiled again and proved it was a real marriage.
Because I don't know if those lawyers... Huh?
Where's she at with the case now?
That's what I was getting to. Yeah. So I don't know if those lawyers are playing her or what's going on, but her daughter ended up turning 21 and filed for her.
Right. And she got denied again for marriage fraud from the prior.
Yes. And then they waited 2 years, she said, and then she refiled now with her daughter. But Brad, she got a work permit.
She's going to get denied again unless she can prove that first marriage was real.
So she's going to keep getting denied.
She's going to keep getting denied. She needs some new blood representing her, I think.
So if they know they're going to deny her the green card, would they still give her the work authorization?
Yeah, because sometimes the mailroom, it's like it's just like everyone's blind there. They're just blindly processing paperwork, and no one realizes that she's barred from getting a green card until she goes for her interview.
Oh, wow.
So, because when you're accused of marriage fraud, that's it.
Yeah.
I would strongly urge her to speak to me.
Yes, that's what I want her to do. So I told her I'm going to call in, see if there's anything, anyway, and then I'm going to...
You have to argue that immigration's wrong. That's the way to do it. You have to argue they're wrong.
They've just been pulling her along and giving her work authorization. And now she thinks that this attorney tells her that, it's either they're going to call her for an interview or they're just going to send it to her in the mail, based on the fact that her daughter is now the one doing her paperwork.
Marriage fraud is marriage fraud. No. That doesn't forgive the marriage fraud.
Yeah. So she needs to speak to you. Okay. Okay, Brad. I'm going to set up an appointment with you for her.
All right.
All right, Brad. Thanks, Brad.
All right. Let's go to Sharika in Newark. Sharika.
Hi, Brad. Good evening. How are you doing today?
How are you?
Okay. So I have a question. I'm calling on behalf of my friend. She came through the border. She didn't file for asylum. She is currently in, I think it's removal proceeding or hearing.
Yeah, removal.
She got married to her longtime boyfriend, who is a green card holder, and is wanting to submit is file for citizenship. Then,
Well, she
and put
better
her
file. You
papers
better
in-
file for. This is what needs to happen. He's got to become a citizen immediately, and if he doesn't,
Okay.
she's not going to be able to get a green card in the United States through the husband. Number two, most likely, people who are now coming in, what I'm seeing, doesn't matter what the facts are. Immigration's checking off,
Okay.
entered the country without inspection, you're here unlawfully. And if you enter the country
Okay.
without inspection and here unlawfully, then that bars you from adjusting your status, even if you're married to a U.S. citizen. And what has to happen is you have to argue in court, but you can only make that argument once the husband's a U.S. citizen, that she's eligible to adjust her status, that ICE is incorrect, that she didn't enter the country without inspection. A lot of people just kind of crawl through the fence, go over the fence, immigration picks them up, holds them in detention, and then paroles them into the United States. And you would have to argue that they got paroled into the U.S., that they factually, that's what happened, not entered without inspection.
Right, that's what happened.
She needs good lawyers.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Alrighty.
Hold on. Let's go to Rinku in South Bend, Indiana. Rinku, how are you?
Good. How you doing, sir?
Good.
Good. Hey, so Brad, I have a question. My U visa has been approved June 2021. Then I've been told your petition is being placed on a waiting list, and also they told me that once a new visa available, USCIS, you will issue approval notice. And it's been 21 months. I have not heard anything.
Rinku, who sponsored you?
No, for U visa.
Oh, a U visa. Okay.
U visa.
So what did you get so far? An approval or just a receipt notice?
The approval notice.
And you got, what is the approval? It says what? That you are approved for a U visa?
Yes.
Okay. So after you're approved for a U visa, you have to wait 3 years from the date of the approval before you can file for your adjustment of status.
Yeah. So once again, I applied June 2016, and it's been approved June 2021.
So in June of 2022, June of 2024, you will be eligible. June of 2024, you can file for your adjustment of status.
Yeah, and they will. They already send me the work permit for for 4 years.
Right. Yeah, but you have to wait till June of 2024 to file for your adjustment.
Okay. The work permit say C14. Does that mean anything?
It means that you're approved for a U visa. And in June of 2024, you can file for your green card. That's everything you need to know. All right? Call us back in June of 2024.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Nuhu in Houston. Nuhu.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Great. What's going on?
Please, I have a VAWA case pending, and I have a individual coming up in July. So I'm just asking whether you have some advice for me.
What, the individual for what? Your asylum claim?
Please come again.
It's an asylum claim, an individual hearing for your asylum claim?
Yes.
Okay. So you're in deportation removal. You filed for asylum. They didn't believe your case, and you got sent to an immigration judge. You have a pending VAWA case going. If you have a strong VAWA case, I would postpone the individual hearing. request a recalendering, explain to the judge you want to go with the VAWA. If you have a really strong asylum case, I would roll the dice and go with the asylum case. If you have both a very strong VAWA case and a very strong asylum case, I would do the VAWA, because you could always have a second bite of the apple with the asylum if the VAWA doesn't work out.
Okay.
That's my advice.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Ronald in Ridgewood.
Thank you so much.
All right. Ronald.
Yes. Hi.
Ronald.
Good
How are you?
afternoon. I'm okay. Good afternoon, Brad. And I want to say thank you for all the work you're doing for all communities.
My pleasure.
So I have a big problem.
Yes.
So I came from Haiti for vacation, and the earthquake happened 10 years ago. So I get TPS. So I never get illegally in the country.
Okay.
So I used to feel since then until the last one that Trump tried to stop on 2019.
Right.
So now on 2021, so Biden put a new redesignation. So I applied for that. From 2021 until now, my case didn't move and I never received anything. And now the registration will be end by March 27th this year. So I don't know what to do because I never received nothing from them. So if I want to re-register to get back to that application, do I have to do with the paper that I have from 2019? Because I never received the one from 2021. And so I don't know. My work is not giving me any issue for work permit.
So
it's
you
okay.
filed to renew the TPS is what you're saying, and you just haven't got any decision on it?
Any decision. So I
All right, so
contact
what you need to do, because you're eligible for the TPS, they have to make a decision on your case. They just can't not make a decision. And
that's why.
So what I would do in your situation is threaten a mandamus. And we've talked about that a lot on my show, where if immigration doesn't make a timely decision on a case, they begin to violate your rights. And a no decision is the same as a denial. If they don't make a decision on your case, you're in the same position as getting a denial. You have no benefits.
Yeah. So when I contact
my advice is that they're violating your rights by not making a decision, and we should be threatening a mandamus at this point.
Okay. So when I contact USCIS, they told me they're waiting on background checking for 2 years, and I used to have TPS.
Well, you know what? You have to file a threat of a mandamus. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's go to Janet in Hackensack. Janet. Hi, Janet. Janet in Hackensack, New Jersey. Janet.
Hi.
Hi, Janet. How are you?
Yes. Hi, Brad. I'm all right. I just want to ask 2 questions.
Sure.
My niece, who is an Army veteran,
Your niece
my niece
Yeah.
is an Army veteran.
Army
So,
veteran.
Yes. So my sister is our legal guardian. My sister is in Jamaica.
But your
So I wanna know
your sister's not the mother.
No, it's just a legal guardian. They
You
went to
cannot
court
file
and
for a legal guardian.
she cannot file for her.
No.
Okay, and the next question, it has to do with my sister married to a U.S. citizen. Her marriage is going on 4 years now. August of this year is going to be 4 years since they're married. She get the first 2 years, and then in November of last year, they sent her an extension of 24 months. And today she came home and saw another extension for 48 months. Can she go ahead and put in for her citizenship?
She absolutely can if she's in a bona fide marriage with her spouse, and she's had lawful residence now for 36 months. She absolutely can file her citizenship.
She can file for her citizenship with her kids because she have her kids. Her kids is on the filing too.
Well, her kids are under 18. They wouldn't file for citizenship. They would become automatic citizens as soon as she becomes an automatic.
Okay. Because she married when they were under 18.
I understand. It's if they're under 18, when she becomes a citizen, they would become automatic citizens.
Okay.
If they're over 18, then they would need their own resident status for 5 years. They would not be eligible for citizenship.
I think her son is 15, and I'm trying to remember if her daughter is 19. I'm not.
So yeah, the 19-year-old will be out, but the 15-year-old will be in.
Oh, so the 19-year-old, she have her green card also to her mother.
She cannot file her citizenship yet.
Oh, just the 15-year-old. So the 19-year-old would have to go get her own.
The 19-year-old would have to do her own naturalization, but can only do that after 5 years residence. Your sister's doing it after 3 years residence, and when she becomes a citizen, any child under 18 would become a citizen as well.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Ralph in New York. Ralph.
Hi, Brad. I want to thank you for doing God's work, really.
My pleasure. Thank
you. So let me explain to you my situation. So I filed for I-360 on July 2020, and I have received few prima facie ever since. And then on November 22nd last year, I received work authorization category C31 with another prima facie. But my problem is that I didn't receive the approval letter yet. So I'm just wondering where my case is right now. Like,
you have an I-360 pending. You got a prima facie. They didn't make a decision on your case. VAWAs are taking over 3 years right now. How long is your VAWA pending?
It's about 2.5 years.
Okay, so your case is in line to make a decision. It's about a 3-year process these days. Did you file an adjustment application?
I did about a month ago. But the thing is, I received the work authorization category C31, so I looked it up, and it's from what I think is that it's been approved. So I looked it up.
If you got a work permit under C31, then your VAWA has been approved.
Right, because I looked it up on their website, and it says like the case history, and it says that was approved on November 28th, but I have not received the approval letter yet.
Okay,
well, so I'm just wondering.
Well, you speak to your mailman. You're calling the wrong guy, but it should have been mailed to you. And if it hasn't been mailed to you yet, you can request a duplicate approval mailed to you. You could also do a FOIA and request a copy of your immigration records.
Okay. So you think it's been approved?
You have a C31 work permit. I can tell you it's been approved. Yes.
Okay, great. I mean,
congratulations.
That's all I need to know, really.
All right, congratulations. All right, let's go to Tamika in Brooklyn. Tamika. Hi, Tamika. Tamika.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have 2 questions. Let me just click off of this, please. I am online. Let me just click off it. Okay. Are you hearing me now?
I still hear you. I heard you all the time.
Okay. All right. My question is, so I filed for VAWA. I got it approved. However, when I'm going through the application where my kid's name should be, the lawyer had only clicked that I have children. But where the name should be, it's only any. And the date of birth is saying any. So now I am so confused because when they did approve me, my kid's name wasn't on the approval. So I don't know.
Where did the lawyer write NA for your children? On what form?
Yes, when she submitted the VAWA petition, so where my kid's name should be, she adds any, and I gave her all the documents. So it's any where the name should be. So now my VAWA is approved, but on the approval it's only my name.
Your lawyer screwed up. Your lawyer screwed up. She didn't put the name of your children.
Yeah.
Where are your children now?
So they're in Jamaica. They're 10 and 15. So I don't know. I'm so confused. I'm stressed out right now.
You have to file an I-824 to transfer your file to the National Visa Center, and let them know you're doing that for your 2 children, and put the children's birth certificates and information in the cover letter.
Okay. So do I file it now that I got the approval notice?
I'm sorry?
Do I file it now that I have the approval notice, or I have to wait until I get the green card in my hand?
You have to wait till you get the green card in your hands.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Let's go to Dahlia in West Palm Beach.
Yes.
Hi, Dahlia.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good. Let me mute this. Yeah, so I have a 4-year extension on my green card, and I have a 27-year-old son, so I was wondering if I can go ahead and put in
Yes.
paperwork for
Yeah,
him.
you have a pending application to remove the conditions of your residence, and you can file for your son now. He's unmarried. File an I-130 for him.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay. And another thing, Brad, my daughter, she filed a marriage case. She had a marriage case she filed, but then her lawyer pulled the case and did an abuse case. And she got a prima facie, but she haven't received any work permit or a social security number.
Well, she should have filed an adjustment. And if she hasn't filed an adjustment application, then she should. Maybe the lawyer withdrew the adjustment, filed a VAWA, which denied the adjustment, and has to file a new adjustment. But the work permit comes through the adjustment. The work permit comes through the adjustment application.
Mm-hmm. So she can file an adjustment now?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have an idea like how long it takes after she filed the adjustment to get a work permit?
About 6 months.
6 months. All right. Thank you, Brad.
Let's go. It's amazing. People call me so they can tell their lawyers what to do. Leo in Chicago.
People call me so they can tell their lawyers what to do.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Brad. So my question is, all right, so I submit a DHS trip number because every time I came back in the country, I'm a citizen now, right? So I thought it would stop. You know, they're still doing secondary inspection. So I submit the
right.
Are you hearing me?
Redress, for the redress.
Yeah, the redress. So I got an email last week saying everything is all right and the case is closed. So you think this is ever going to go away?
Well, I don't know what an email saying everything's all right, the case is closed. I don't know what that means. Did they say they took you out or they didn't get taken out?
They say whenever time I'm gonna go on a flight, I can use this number to make things flow smoothly. Something like that.
Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, go through the airport, see what happens, and if they still hassle you, call me after.
Okay, Brad. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Now, we won't know until you try it. Let's go to Marie in Queens. Hi, Marie. Marie in Queens.
Hello.
Hi, Marie.
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
I'm good. I just want to ask 2 questions. My son is in Jamaica. His wife filed for him, and the case was approved, and they put it because of COVID. They was to cancel his interview. Now, when I checked, they haven't reached out back to him or anything. When we checked the thing, it is saying that it is scheduled for, let me tell you exactly what it is saying. It is saying
well, he was scheduled for an interview 2 years ago, and they still haven't rescheduled him?
Yes.
Who sponsored him?
His wife.
Oh, that's crazy. The wife should.
Yeah,
the wife.
She said she emailed and she hadn't heard anything. So I'm not sure what is that.
We would need to speak to the embassy. Where is this, in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Yeah, the case fell off the track somewhere. Wife's a U.S. citizen. This man's immediately eligible for a green card. His case got delayed because of COVID for 2 years. he needs to call us immediately. We'll call the embassy and we'll get somebody on the phone and get it straightened out.
All right. So I can tell her to come and
Call us. Yes.
see you then call you.
Yes.
All right. My next question, Brad, is if a person was married and their husband died, how long after can they be eligible to file for citizenship?
5 years from the time.
5 years.
Yeah, because you're no longer in a bona fide.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Brad.
All right. Let's go to Lennon in Orlando, Florida. Lennon.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Today is 2 years that we went to my wife to our interview. I just the status. After that, we received a request for evidence 7 days after interview, and we responded back to the field office by 3 times in 2 years, and they never respond back to our response. They do nothing. We need to receive any information about our response.
All right. So you are like many people where you file a case, you complete it, your spouse is eligible for a green card, nobody looks at your file, and nobody cares, and nobody responds to you. Happens a lot.
Nothing, not bad.
So you have a bunch of choices what you can do. You can write follow-up letters. Please complete my case. They didn't. You can hire lawyers to write follow-up letters. They don't listen to lawyers either. You can go to your senator or congressman. They don't listen to the senator or congressman. There's only one person they listen to, the federal judge. And you threaten a mandamus to go before a federal judge. I'm going to take this to federal court. I have a federal judge walk you into court and have a federal judge demand that you make a decision on my case. And when you threaten that, they will make a decision.
Yeah, because they request a request for evidence. I submitted by 3 times.
They're violating your rights. They're violating your rights. That's why you go to a federal judge. You have a right to a decision. You have a right to a decision.
If you don't like my case. Yeah, exactly. If they don't like the case, so deny it. Why they don't deny it?
Right. You have a right to a decision. So that's what you do. I can help you with that. Hold on 1 second. All right. And that is our questions and answers for the day. Do not forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. You could also follow us at Bradshaw Live on Instagram. You can follow us on TikTok at Bradshaw Live. And if you're lucky enough, I will give you a personalized answer to your legal question for the entire world to see on TikTok. You could also follow us on Twitter as well for the best of Bradshaw Live. And later in the show, I will be answering viewers' questions. So leave your questions in the comments. I will try to answer as many as I can. But now I'm going to give some advice about construction accident claims, when someone should file a construction accident claim, what compensation can be received after filing an accident claim, and if someone can hire a construction accident attorney if they cannot afford legal services. Let's watch.
According to New York state law, your lawsuit needs to be filed within 3 years after the construction accident has occurred. If you miss this deadline, you will lose your right to pursue compensation for your injuries. Filing a construction accident lawsuit allows you to seek both economic and non-economic damages. Workers' compensation, on the other hand, gives you indemnification for economic damages only. Economic damages include medical expenses, medical devices, anticipated medical bills, long-term care expenses, physiotherapy and rehab, lost wages, lost employment benefits, home or vehicle modifications, property damage, funeral and burial costs if there's a wrongful death case. Non-economic damages you may pursue include pain and suffering, post-traumatic stress disorder, emotional damages, and deterioration of your quality of life. The post-accident period poses physical, psychological, emotional, and financial challenges for you and your loved ones. At Spar & Bernstein, you will pay our legal fees only after a successful conclusion to your case when a settlement is reached or a money verdict is obtained. Once we win your case, you pay only a percentage of your net compensation. We offer a free consultation to discuss the details of your construction accident and the subsequent steps that you need to take.
All right, we're ready for some social media check-in. Let's do it. All right, from our VIP page on Facebook, where I answer your social media questions first at Bradshaw Live, become a member of Bradshaw Live Facebook group, and you can be a VIP question also, or ask a VIP question also. From Sam Moore, my nephew lost his dad and his mom is not able to take care of him in Iran. I'm a U.S. citizen, 42 years old, and married. Can I apply for an adoption and file as an orphan case? He is 15 and a half years old. If I file an orphan petition, he turns 16 or 17. He's still come to the USA. Should I get his custody in Iran or here in USA? I appreciate any information. I don't believe that Iran is going to allow a child to come to the United States to be adopted. You can double check, but I doubt that would be allowed. When you do an orphan case, you have to do a pre-adoption study here in the United States and then get the I-360 filed. Whether or not you'll be able to do that before he turns 16, I doubt it, but you can also try. But because he's from Iran, I don't think they're going to allow children out of Iran to be adopted to come to the United States of America, unfortunately. Nenny G. Rucker, does a permanent resident have to file an AR-11 when moving? They're supposed to, yes. Ernie Olis, can you travel domestically while out of status with a pending immigration case? Yes, you can. Just show your valid passport. Marie Capello, if you are legally deported over 23 years ago to Sicily, how long would it take to see a judge? Forever. You're already in Sicily. There's no more judges to see. Whether you can come back or not depends on why you were deported and who's going to sponsor you to return. Jessime Elenon Olivedo, if I petition my illegitimate children, do I need the signature of their father for the paperwork? My children are minors. I hope you give an answer to my question. Thank you so much. No, you do not need the the signature of the father to petition your children. Let's go see what's going on YouTube. I can't read this. There we go. Jody Ann Laidlaw, if my name on my passport is different from my green card, can I still travel? And which name do I use my ticket in? You need to have your green card match your passport. And if the name is different, then, of course, change one. Or if it's different because of a marriage or a divorce, then bring your marriage or divorce certificate with you. But if it's a name like your name is Mary and it's Jane on your passport, then you got to fix that problem. If it's your married name and your single name, then, travel with your marriage certificate. Lystra St. Louis. Hi, Brad. If you overstay your time in the U.S. and I move back to your country, how long does it take before you can apply for a visa again? If you overstayed your time by more than a year, you can't come back for 10 years for sure. And after 10 years, you could apply for a visa, but I doubt the government will give you a visa if you overstayed once. They'll say you'll overstay again, and they'll probably punish you anyway and not give it to you nevertheless. So I think you'll have a problem either way. Anthony, Brad, my I-E-Y-E, I-130 is approved. It's I as in just the letter I. It stands for immigration. Is approved, but I'm on removal proceedings and my name has been taken off the calendar. What should I do? You need to make a motion to recalendar your name so you can adjust your status. Abateo, can someone who came across the border and was paroled into the U.S. with an A number, can they adjust through their status? Yes, if you were paroled into the United States, you can adjust your status with a waiver, provided you're married in a bona fide marriage. Tushari Yusuf, I was approved for an I-360 on the 5th of January. And on the 10th, I saw my case was reopened for reconsideration or appeal of decision. What should I do? You got to wait for their decision. They approved you, and then they said, oh, wait a second, maybe we don't want to approve you. And they reopened it. And now you have to wait for them to hear what the problem is. Anne Marie Edwards, What if a U.S. citizen child petitioned for her mother and her green card was denied because of a mistake that was made on her application back in her country? She filed an I-601 application, was denied. You can't file that she was denied for misrepresentation, and you can't get a waiver through a child for misrepresentation. You can only get it through a spouse or a parent. So that's why she can't come back. She needs a spouse or parent to come back for the waiver because she committed a misrepresentation. You can claim it as a mistake. Government says it's a misrepresentation. Pierre, what will happen if a U.S. consulate found you're misrepresented on a previous visa application? Same thing that happened to the question before. You're going to be denied, and you're going to need a waiver. And whether or not you qualify for a waiver depends on what family members you have here in the U.S. Rita, how long after receiving a work permit, VAWA, will you receive an interview? It's almost 3 years since the person filed. It depends on how you got your work permit. If you got your work permit based on a VAWA approval and you filed an adjustment application simultaneously, you should get an interview in about 10 months. If you have a work permit through a pending adjustment and your VAWA has not approved yet, you got to wait on the VAWA approval, which takes about 3 years, so hopefully very soon. Let's see who else we got here. Anna Marie Gerdzik. Hi, Brad. I filed an I-360 on June of 2020. On December 2022, I received the EAD C-31. I still didn't receive approval letter. Is this usual? It's usual if you get a C-31 that your I-360 was approved. Congratulations. But apparently a lot of people are not getting their approval letters. Kiasa, how long does it take to get a visa for immediate relative adopted child? We are U.S. citizens. If you adopted the child, you have to prove you lived with the child for 2 years, you had legal custody of the child for 2 years, or that child's never coming. So adoptions are a different breed. So let's figure out what's going on first before I tell you how long it will take. How much is citizenship fee? To file for citizenship, the filing fee is $725. Maureen McFarland, Brad, how long does it take for me to hear from USCIS after I do a fingerprint for adjustment of status? You should get a work permit about 6 to 7 months after you filed. If you took your fingerprints, about 2 months after you filed. So hopefully soon. Maria Dixon, my whole face will disappear now. Hi, Brad. My son will file for him, but because of COVID, they had canceled his interview. We did not hear back. I answered that question already. The person called. Virtuous Land Model. I filed taxes jointly with my wife in the first year of my 10 years approved green card. The other 2 years was filed separately. Can I file my citizenship after 3 years of marriage? No, you can't, because by filing separately, you've shown you no longer have a financial relationship with your spouse, and that's one of the requirements to file for your citizenship after 3 years. So you would have to wait 5 years. Patino. Is it better to do the fiance visa or get married in Mexico and process the paperwork here in the U.S.? It's faster to do a fiance visa. If you're asking what's faster, it's the fiance visa. Edwin, is misprison of felony deportable? Sentence 13 months in prison, but only served 9 months in prison. Depends what the felony was for. But it sounds like a 13-month sentence is over a year. So if the underlying crime was a theft or a crime of violence, that is an aggravated felony. Either way, even if it's not an aggravated felony, a crime of moral turpitude, it is deportable. Brasilera, not America. I hope I pronounced that right. Brad, 204C, do I need to ask for a waiver before I get married, or do the adjustment status ask for a waiver? 204C means that you were accused of marriage fraud. If you were accused of marriage fraud, there is no waiver. You can never get a green card. The resolution to this is if, in fact, immigration is incorrect, it was not marriage fraud, then you have to prove the first marriage was real and the second marriage was real. Need a good lawyer. Chantel White, I just filed my mom's I-130. How soon should I expect her case to be approved? Over a year. If your mom is in the United States, you should file an adjustment as well immediately. Mika Hewitt, Anna. That's not a question. Can someone who's on child support, not up to date, get married and get papers for his spouse. If the spouse is on child support, the spouse cannot support his family, has not paid for his children. So the government most likely will not allow you to get a green card because they're going to say he can't support his children. How are we going to allow another family member into the U.S.? So we got to get up to date on the child support. Ajogi Esther. Hey, Brad, how do I get hubby to file for our son? He abandoned us in Africa and had refused to file. I want my son to be a citizen because his father is, but he isn't ready. If the father's a U.S. citizen, you don't need the father to file for the son. You can't force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. But if the father was a citizen when your son was born, your son's an automatic U.S. citizen, and you can apply for a passport for your son. Although to apply for the passport under 18, you would need the father's signature as well. So you can't really do anything unless the father wants to assist, unfortunately. Sharon Pemberton. How long after biometrics do you get a work authorization? It's not after biometrics. It's usually about 6 to 7 months after filing. Sudu, my son is going to do a PhD this year, but he overstayed. Now he's 21. Can he file a case? I don't know what kind of case he wants to do, but getting a PhD is not going to help him if he overstayed. He would need a consultation. Daryl Winnabaugh, I'm an F1 student, just started school and have a pending I-45. Can I work with my I-765 work authorization? Yes, you can. You're no longer on a student visa. You're on a pending adjustment application. Brandon, what's the procedure after filing for citizenship? Procedure for what? You're a citizen. Congratulations. Nothing else to do. Daryl Winnabaugh, I already answered that question. Nani, how do you appeal an I-360 denial? You have to fill out the appeal form. You have to do it in 30 days. Appeals take forever. Maybe you want to refile again, or try that at least. Can a U.S. and appeals never are won. You rarely see appeals won. Can a U.S. citizen child refile for her mother if both her green card and I-601 application was denied? It depends on a U.S. citizen child cannot file for a mother if the mother needs an I-601 waiver because you can't get a waiver through the U.S. citizen child. Josephine, how long does it take to get your status adjusted as an abused spouse? About 3 years. Greetings, Brad, and God bless you for all you do to help mankind. My sister has TPS. What's the way forward for a green card? I don't know. She would need a consultation. I would need to know a lot more about the sister. Delicious. Brad, I have a 4-year extension on my green card. Can I go ahead and file for my 27-year-old? Oh, I answered that. The answer is yes. Hey, Brian, please, can travel advance parlor? I don't even know what that means, and I'm Brad. Roberto, how long does it take for work permit for adjustment of status? About 6 to 7 months from the time of filing. Manoj Gautam. Hi, Brad. Can you let me know if there's any updates on the U visa, please, or any way to know about that while waiting for bona fide determination? What happens if I go back to the home country now? If you go back, you'll just wait for your U visa back home and won't be able to come back for about 10 years. Where can I check my visa category? I don't know what visa category you're talking about. Marcia, good evening, Brad. If your father takes you to the USA at 17 and you're 20 years of age to date, can I file for citizenship? No, you have to wait 5 years from the time you got your green card to file for citizenship. I assume you came with a green card in 2017 at 17, so you'd have to file for your citizenship at 22. However, if your father was a citizen when you were 17, you got your green card, and you were living with your father, you were an automatic citizen at that date. So maybe you've been an automatic citizen since 17. I don't know. All right, we're going to do 2 or 3 more. KNS Natural. Hey, Brad, how long do I have to wait for my interview in Jamaica? Case was sent to the National Visa Center 2 years now. The priority date is 2018, unmarried child over 21. You probably have at least 3-4 more years of waiting, probably 3 years, unfortunately. Brandon, what's the procedure after filing for citizenship? Brandon, I don't know what procedure you're talking about. And let's see if there's anything else here. Apparently, we stopped making stars after a while. I don't know what happened. All right. Katie, my husband has an approved I-130 since 2013 from his citizenship. Dad passed away in 2019. He's been here since 2013. We have an 11-year-old son with Charge syndrome disease. All right. So if the father passed away, that petition is approvable again under 204L. But if I don't know when the application was originally filed, I'm not sure when you got here, if you're in legal status, if you're 245I, but you should be able to get a green card no matter what, either through a provisional waiver or through adjustment of status, and somebody else can complete the case in the family. So you should be in good shape despite the death of the father-in-law. Nikki Smith, hey, Brad, can a green card holder daughter, 26-year-old, file for her married mother? No, you cannot file. Green card cannot file for married or unmarried parent. What's the procedure after filing for citizenship? Brandon, what are you talking about? I did that question already. Manish, hi, sir, I'm Manish. I'm applying my VAWA abuse case in November. I got a February receipt number. When I got my fingerprints and EAD travel documents, I applied adjustment of status. That's not a question, that's a statement. I'm happy for you. All right, David Lincoln, I filed for VAWA and got approved. I was granted 2 years advance parole. Can I travel to Canada and come back? Yes, with advance parole and a pending adjustment, yes. Richard Treasure, my husband filed for me in 2015. I paused my interview, and after that, they send and tell me I have to go home. Okay. I don't know anything more about your case. You need a consultation then. San Sermos, I'm a green card holder, and it's been 13 months since my husband's petition is under review. Any idea how much longer for his I-130 to be approved? If you filed an I-130 for your husband, it could take 18, 20 months as a green card holder. Katie, I've answered that question a million times. Brandon, you asked the same question a million times. You got to be more specific. All right, we're going to do one more. Ramon, O.T. Weller, I'm a citizen. Can I file for my mom and sister, and how long would the process take? You can file for your mom. It's about 1.5 years. For your sister, will be 12 to 15 years. We got to find another way for your sister. And Cheryl Dunkley, last question. Cheryl Dunkley. Hi, Brad. Can a Social Security statement letter be used in place of a tax return paper at the embassy if I petition? No, you need tax return. You can't show Social Security payments. All right, so that's our social media check-in for the day. Now it's time for our second part of our squad versus crew game, Immigration 101. Squad versus crew is Bradshaw Live's ongoing competition game series right now. It's tied squad 10, crew 10. Last week, we watched the first part of Immigration 101 between squad member Joel and Davis, a.k.a. Jessica Leamy Joel, and crew member Jeremy Goldberg, a.k.a. J. Rhymes. And when we left off, Joel was up by 1 point with the score 3-2. It's close. Let's watch and play along and see who wins.
Let's go on to the next question. Which of the following count as immediate relatives? Is it A, spouses of U.S. citizens, B, unmarried children under 21 years old, C, widows whose citizen spouse filed a petition before their death, or D, all of the above? Let's see your answers in 3, 2, 1. So the squad takes this one. The correct answer is D, all of the above. For purposes of a green card application, you count as an immediate relative if you are married to a U.S. citizen, the unmarried child of a U.S. citizen, or the parent of a U.S. citizen who is under the age of 21. Widows or widowers of U.S. citizens also count as long as the U.S. citizen filed a petition before their death, or the widow or widower files a petition within 2 years of the citizen's death. Let's keep this going. Which of the following countries does not currently qualify for TPS status? Is it A, Ukraine, B, Venezuela, C, Jamaica, or D, Sudan? Let's see what you guys have in 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is C, Jamaica. TPS, or Temporary Protected Status, is a designation granted to nationals of certain countries due to conditions that temporarily prevent them from returning home safely, such as an ongoing armed conflict or environmental disasters. Next question. What kind of visa would you need to come to the US as an au pair? Is it A, J1 visa, B, F1 visa, C, a U visa, or D, B2 visa? Let's see those answers in 3, 2, 1. Okay. And yes, that is the correct answer. A. J1 visas are granted for study and work-related exchange programs approved by the Bureau of Education and Cultural Affairs at the Department of State. It is used for cultural exchange programs such as au pairs, Fulbright scholars, and camp counselors.
Well, that was easy. Yeah.
Okay, Jeremy, you're keeping up. You know, I know he's studying.
I'm keeping up.
Studying.
Let's see how much I'll trail the next one.
How many medical workers in the U.S. are immigrants? Is it A, 500,000, B, 870,000, C, 1.3 million, or D, 2.6 million?
What did that woman at Hometown Heroes Ticker Tape Parade say?
Let's see your answers in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God.
Okay, you're both incorrect. The correct answer is B, 2.6 million.
Oh, not bad, not bad.
Oh. Yep. According to data from the U.S. Census Bureau tabulated by the Migration Policy Institute, in 2018, there were 2,637,000 immigrant healthcare workers, making up almost 18% of the total healthcare workforce. Immigrants accounted for 28% of all physicians and surgeons, and an additional 563,000 immigrants accounted for 29% of home health and personal care aides. That's mind-blowing.
Wow. That's awesome.
Right? Mm-hmm. Here we go. We're at our last question. Squad has the lead with 6 points. Jessica Leamy, Joel Reed, making the squad proud, as per usual. And for our crew, we're at 4 points. Our boy Jay Rhymes. Let's do our last question. Double or nothing. How long before your conditional green card expires do you have to file a petition to remove the conditions on your permanent resident status? Is it A, 6 weeks, B, 90 days, C, 1 year, or D, 18 months? Let's see what you guys are working with. Double or nothing in 3, 2, 1. Okay, that is the right answer. B, 90 days. 90 days. Wow. Good job. To remove the conditions on your permanent resident status, you must file a petition within the 90-day period before your 2-year green card expires. If your conditions are not removed, you will lose your permanent resident status and you will become removable from the United States. Oh man, Jeremy. Another win for the squad. Congratulations, Jessica Leamy, Joel Reed. Immigration 101 is always so much fun. Thank you guys for playing with me today. Joelle, congrats on another victory.
Thank
Jeremy.
you.
Good effort.
Hey. So, thanks so much. Till next time.
All right. Good effort. So squad is ahead of crew 11-10. I think the crew needs to step it up a little bit. Congratulations to Jessica Leamy, Joelle, Ann, and the squad on your win. All right. Are we ready for speed round? Got to get my shoulders all ready to go. Are we ready to do some speed round? All right, we're ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
How long does adjustment of status take? Through marriage, about a year.
2.
When a U.S. citizen files to bring their parents to the United States, can other siblings and grandchildren be derivatives? Grandchildren can. Oh, no, parents, no, nothing. 3. How long does it take a U.S. citizen to file for his wife in Jamaica? Over a year. 4. Can you file for parents if you have a 10-year permanent residence? No.
Okay,
5.
5.
Can I petition for my married sister to come to the United States? Yes, if you're a U.S.
Okay,
citizen.
6.
Can you travel to another country besides your own country with advanced parole? Yes.
7.
How old does my son have to be to file for me if I'm out of status? 21.
Oh no. 8.
VAWA approved. I wasn't ready for this one. VAWA approved to Jude. Oh man. I wasn't ready for how this was going to work. Now I understand how it's going to work for next. I didn't know that you were going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I was looking back and forth at the questions. And all right, now I have a better idea.
You can take it down. Take it down.
All right, I have a better idea now. All right, for next time we'll get it done. You want to send me the last 3? Ask me the last 3 questions. I don't know.
Yeah, put up 8. Yeah.
The VAWA is approved in June of 2021. How long will it be for my green card interview? You should have filed an adjustment a long time ago and gotten your green card already. 9. What's 9? Can you file for a green card for your grandmother if she's in the U.S.? No, you can't do a grandmother petition. I'm a U.S. citizen. How long will it take to file my 34-year-old unmarried? I'm a U.S. citizen. How long will it take to file for my 34-year-old unmarried son? About 8, 9 years. Okay. Better luck next time for me. I understand how it works now. I didn't know you were going to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I got it. Okay. Comments of the day. All right. Comments of the day. What do we got? First comment of the day. Romeo Sawyers. Hi, Brad. Continue doing the great job you're doing. God bless you and your staff. Thank you very much. Dawn Harriet. Hello, Brad's Teddy. Yes. Pierre. Hello, Brad. Watching from the Dominican Republic. Thank you, Pierre. Appreciate it. Mika Hewitt. We love you, Brad. And Jessica Leamy. I call and watch you to improve my immigration knowledge, not to go teach another lawyer. Is that it? I think that's it. The last one. Oh, that was it. All right. Well, goodbye, everybody. Have a great evening. We're going to see you back here next Monday, March 27th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube. In the meantime, have a great week and stay liked and stay and like and subscribe to Bradshaw Live on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter for lots of great content, immigration, personal injury, more. See you next week. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here.
Forget it. I'll do it.
The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And visit us now at our Connecticut office, 221 Main Street, Suite 501, Hartford, Connecticut. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465.